speak?
No, I'm not. I only down like 6 people.
I never said that.
And that's an issue. Resources in the general. Hunt is a solid
vote. I'm not doing this shit again, Luke. Every time we say this, it never happens. Especially safe state like
I'm just saying, I don't want to risk it, and Hunt is going to be a solid center.
Luke, every time they say this stuff, it never happens. Oh, we have to divert funds, and he wins. Remember, Shahid? He won by a landslide.
Yeah, and what's to say that... Look, what's to say something really bad happens, and because we don't know, all we know is that his wife is divorcing him over something. How do we know that Dems aren't going to bring up that it was something horrible? That's the thing. We saw the same warning signs with Mark Robinson, and no one wanted to look.
Completely different set of circumstances.
We don't know. We don't know what the issue is. Make that happen. That's not what we should do. Wesley Hunt is a solid vote. I don't see any argument why we shouldn't nominate.
Because it's Texas. Ken Paxton's like A or S tier senator, and you're going with Hunt who's like C tier or B tier.
No, you got your own organization has him as like an A minus.
Yeah, I know. Look, so because there's limited votes, but my opinion is really B tier. That's my opinion. I know AFI has an A or whatever, but that's with less votes and all that stuff. You include all the votes, it's probably a little less. But
I'm just saying that. I'm just saying no. I do not want to take the risk of the October surprise being a. We don't know. We don't know. You said this exact same thing about Mark Robinson. You said this exact same thing about Robinson, that all of these scandals, nothing was going to happen. He was going to win easily because it was going to be a red year.
That is a different set of circumstances. Can you let me speak? Luke.
Then how do we know? How do we know what happened?
First of all, North Carolina is not Texas. Starters. North Carolina is like an R+3 state.
Well, okay, yeah. If you apply the overperformance Josh Stein had to Texas, then yeah, Paxton would lose under that overperformance.
Okay, but that's.
I'm just saying.
Can you let me speak?
Well, no. I'm just saying. You want to see what happens when it comes out that he did something that is because how do we know?
Look, listen, and even then, first of all, Mark Robinson.
I don't think we should risk it. We shouldn't risk it.
I'm not peeking the street.
And you have us, because this is what we did in 2022. We ran all these people like Mastriano, like Gibbs. You at the time argued these guys were going to win because it was going to be a red year. Don't act like you didn't. We can pull up the receipts. You argued all this, that those candidates were going to win easily. And what ended up happening?
I never said they were going to win easily. I said I supported like Gibbs. I thought Gibbs was going to win. But
you thought Mastriano was in the summer. You were talking about how he was like locking the race up because he was only down like 6.
Luke, I never said that in the summer. Now you're just lying.
You did.
No, you're lying.
No, I'm not. I quite literally recently watched a video you made in August where you were talking about how it looked like Mastriano was locking it up if polling underperformances were the same as 2020, which you said you expected
you missed. To happen. You never mentioned that part. You said
I'm just saying I don't want to take the risk because look,
Luke. Okay, I'm about to kick you from the street if you're not going to speak.
Okay, if you can't handle any disagreement,
you're not letting me speak. You're not letting me speak, Luke. For starters, North Carolina is what 13 points left to Texas. 14. So that's the first thing. Texas is way more conservative. It's way more Republican. And on top of that, North Carolina, that was a governor's race. That was chances. That's not a Senate race. The Senate race is much more polarizing. These scandals, yes, they can hurt, but not as much as governor race. And Mark Robinson, the scandal that killed him was not stuff we knew about. It was stuff that was waited until the last second. And like that's different from here. We know he got a divorce with his wife. We know that now. It's not like that. We know about this almost a year and a half in advance. And it's just completely different. And right now, the same polling, Ken Paxton's winning. So, and he's fundraising way more than Mark Robinson ever did. And speaking of Mastriano, I never said he locked it up. I said that if the polling was the same underperformance as Trump back in August, when it was still like D plus 5 or 6, Mastriano would win. That's what I said. I never said it's for sure he's going to win Pennsylvania in 2026. And Luke left. Great. Luke, you can't.
I just don't want to take the risk. I just don't want to take the risk. And all we know is that his wife came out and said, in light of recent discovery, we have no idea what that means. If we can get some disclosure, if it was just an affair or something
That's
like that, maybe.
Was.
Well, we don't know that. We have no idea what it was, and that's an issue.
Yeah, but it's not the same as Mark Robinson, where he had a sex.
How do you know? How do you know? You know Paxton's personal life?
Luke, he's not on that website. He's
How
not.
do you know? How do you know? How do you know it wasn't with
sense.
minors or something? How do you know?
Because
how do you know he wasn't with minors?
Mark Robinson's case was such
What do you mean common sense? Yeah, if you were using common sense in early 2023, no one would have assumed that Mark Robinson was on those sites he was on. But look at with hindsight. That's why we need to look at these things in the forefront. We need to learn from our past mistakes.
A race in North Carolina with completely different set of circumstances in a local.
How do you know? How do you know? Do you know Paxton's personal life?
Luke, that's just a stupid argument. It's a straw man. Oh, you don't know him?
It's divorce him. That's all we know. And I'm saying we don't want to take that chance.
Yeah, I understand he's going to underperform like Hunter, whatever. Fine. But to say he's going to lose is crazy. Even
well, how do you... Okay, then what do you do? What do you do if it gets to October and then it comes out that he was with minors? What are you going to do then? Because we have no... We have no indication that it's otherwise.
Not, you don't... I know we don't know.
I guarantee... Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, so, we don't know. But the chance of it being that is so slim.
How do you know? And what were...
And how do you know it's nothing? Luke, how do you know it's nothing? Look, you keep saying, oh, how do you know? How do you know it's nothing?
How do I know? Well, I don't know, but that's the thing. That's what we don't take a risk like this. You get a solid senator like...
Does Wesley Hunt have a scandal? How do you know?
Because his wife hasn't come out and said that he's done the full subpoenas.
Maybe she does. This argument applies to anybody ever, Luke.
Yeah, and if that same thing happens before the primary, I will also come out against Wesley Hunt. This isn't a unique thing because of Paxton.
But you just said if we don't know till October. What happens if it's October 30th?
Because we know there's a scandal. We know there's a potential scandal.
I mean, like, you're applying different set of circumstances. It's stupid, this argument. And we don't even know, we don't even know. I know we don't know, but...
All I'm saying is this is sounding very much like 2022, and I don't want to be repeating this. It is. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me
okay,
that you were all right in 2022. All these shitty candidates that we got behind that ended up having these horrible skeletons in their closet that ended up not knowing how to campaign. They all won, right? That's why we have a Republican governor. That's why all the 20 states have red governors. That's why all the safe states.
You're going to keep me straight. You're done. I'm sorry. You're not going to keep interrupting me every second. Every second. Just not let me speak. It's my own stream, dude.
He already left.
I mean, guys, the same argument applies to anybody. You don't know if Wesley Hunt, you don't know if he has a scandal or not. Just because Ken Paxton might have one, yeah. What is it? We don't know, yeah.